Hey all you gaming Arcadians out there, this is nirnroot 5 and I'm coming at you with Skyrim Alchemy Poison and Potion Guide. Anyways, this guide will include ingredients, how to get them, not every ingredient, but recipes for poisons and potions that I use. And this guide really is for those who are getting into Skyrim late in the game, or getting in just now trying to get into alchemy, or have not gotten into alchemy yet, you know. But it also has something for intermediate and other players as well. And depending on your playstyle, you might, find out something here you might could use. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is showing y'all this store, which is one way to get alchemy ingredients. And buying ingredients and recipes for a poison or potion is a lot cheaper than buying the potions themselves. As you can see, the ingredients are fairly cheap, but then you look at potions and there you go, some potions even range up into thousands. But I know because I create some. But anyways, alchemy is a good thing to use, and it has purposes both on and off the battlefield that can help you. As you can see, I'm decked out in dragon bone armor, and I'm gonna show you the regular defense and offensive capabilities of that. And you see the dragon bone sword and armor and everything like that, and everything like that. Now mine, I had to get this. You have to have blacksmithing 100. It has to be leveled up to 100. So I mean, just to get that. Now, mine, as you can see, mine has been upgraded to legendary status, and it's extremely powerful. It wouldn't have been able to get it that high without using poisons that I created in alchemy for enchanting and blacksmithing. So these, as you can see, they're well above anything that I, would normally use. And that's not the original bond of matrimony. I made that, anyways. And that's Galder's amulet, which I may do a guide on how to get in time. And also I will show you another case where alchemy has used blacksmithing. As you can see, I got Lydia here. She's wearing some loot right now, but she's also wearing some dragon scale armor. Now, as you can see, her dragon scale shield, and so helmet. Of course, like I said, I used alchemy to improve the power of the enchantments, as well as I used the blacksmithing potion to increase the power of the swords and the armor and everything. And that's the Dawnbreaker right there. I may also do a guide on how to attain that. But as you can see, Dragonheart arm, well, it's dragon scale armor. I renamed it that. Anyways, really good. She does not go down. I mean, she's taking on dragons by herself and down them. So yeah. I mean, you can compare this to Daedric armor. Now keep in mind, I have heavy armor perks, and I don't really have light armor perks. But as you can see, yeah, see, this is the regular dragon scale armor right here, and you can see drastic improvement, drastic change. Now right here we got a poison demonstration. This is the poison of slow demonstration I'm gonna use. Now you're gonna see that with one sword I do more damage than with the other. That's because the poison can only go on one sword when you're dual wielding, so keep that in mind. But this poison of slow that I made is fantastic. It's great poison to put on your swords, and it does more damage the second hit. It does more damage the second hit because the poison makes them weaker to poison. The first hit makes them weaker to poison, so it does that much more damage. And I mean, if you noticed, when I was swinging with the left sword, it did less damage than when I was swinging with right. And just to show you a better example of that, I'm gonna go without the poisoners. Now I'm using these conjured swords here because if I use my Dragon Ball sword, this guy's gonna die in 1 or 2 hits anyway. So I mean, that really wouldn't be a good demonstration. But as you can see, he was gonna die, but it took a lot more hits. Anyways, poisons can be used on any living thing. That includes giants, mammoths, saber cats, all of that shit. But it cannot be used on undead, and I do not believe that it can be used on dragons. Also, if you well, let me say this. What that entails is don't use poisons on dirges, vampires, or any other thing that's not alive. But anyways, one way you can tell that this poison, and I do show you the recipe for it, is working, is you'll see the fumes. And if you noticed, he had like fumes or particles or whatever coming from him. That's how you can tell this poison is activated. And down he goes. Normally I would have just used a paralyzation poison on him though, and just wailed on him, which is what I'm about to demonstrate now. Poison of paralysis. Now I have stronger paralysis poisons than this, but this one will do. These guys are just poor bandits. We going back to old buddy again anyway. He ain't gonna do nothing. Golly, that nigga flew. Now that normally does not happen when you use this poison, but I mean they just fall out. And the advantage of this poison is that my particular paralysis poison does damage to them, and it gives you a chance to just wail on them. So that's what. You're doing damage in 2 different ways. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, and I also have the perk, alchemy perk, that lets poisons stay on weapons for twice as many hits. And if you're gonna use the poison to slow, that's a perk you definitely should have. And here we are going to demonstrate the poison of frenzy, which does the same thing as the spell of frenzy. So yeah, I'll just let this show. And here he comes, and here comes the village people. Damn, they off his ass quick as shit. I guess he wasn't very strong now, was he? Anyways, that's useful for if you got like strong enemies in a crowd or something. Now, frostbite venom, I show this because this is the first venom you'll get. This is the first poison you'll probably get in the game. And for those just starting out, it's good poison to have. You can, if you have trouble killing deer, which you can use that on there, and get you some antlers, because there is a certain type of antler that's good for poison. And this right here is my alchemy collection. You know, you kind of want to have a good amount of ingredients. It keeps you from having to go out all over Skyrim every time you want to create something. So whether you, and this is the Heartfire DLC. I got this right here, and I cannot thank this DLC enough, because this also keeps you from having to go running around Skyrim all the time. If you're new to the game, I'm sorry, but alchemy requires you to run all over Skyrim, so you're gonna end up finding a lot of shit. Okay, and I do have ingredient locations and things like that. So, but anyways, the Heartfire lets you plant different herbs and stuff in a greenhouse. So if you do get the Heartfire, the greenhouse is all the more worth it. You know what I'm saying? And you get bees in there because there's a beehive in there, so and they're also used for alchemy. And it's just more room to store your shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, back to what I was saying about going all over Skyrim and locations. I do show the locations of a good few of the ingredients that I'll be using. Some I don't show because they should be easy to find, or you can find them all over. And this video would take hours otherwise. And I showed the stove because alchemy can be leveled up by cooking. So you kill a deer, you go Cabela's on that bitch, you know, you can cook the venison and level up your alchemy, you know, catch fish, all that, salmon, you know, cook them, whatever. Anyways, but like I said, if you don't want to run all over Skyrim all of the time, have you a good area, or get the Hearthfire DLC. It's not very expensive, and you know, you plant you some herbs and stuff like that. Also, organization really helps. You saw earlier where I had that one barrel with all those ingredients in the Hearthfire. I did it differently. I sorted them out by animal parts and things like that, funguses and herbs. So there you have that. That way you don't have to search through 1,000,000,001 ingredients to get to the thing you're looking for. As you can see, I have a lot of ingredients, but that's because I make a lot of different poisons and potions, and they really can help you in just about every aspect of the game. Also, the Heartfire, whatever herb you grow, you get like twice as many of that herb when you plant it versus what you would get out in the wild. So there is that benefit. So that helps to keep you from wandering all over the place. Now, one of the key things to getting good alchemy poisons, especially if your alchemy isn't that high, is to make an alchemy armor. And you can put alchemy, if you find an alchemy enchantment, I'd say get that and disenchant it and put it on several pieces of equipment, which the alchemy enchantment can be put on your gloves, a necklace, and a ring, and a headpiece. So as you can see, I have that now. Krosis, that is a dragon priest mask. If you don't have it, I recommend you get it, especially if you like sneaking and archery and shit like that. And it's also good for alchemy. I showed the location for that, but if you're just starting out, be careful because there is a dragon priest and a dragon there, and you will have to fight them at the same time. And they, if you're just starting out, they ain't gonna be no joke. Anyways. Anyways, here, I'm gonna let it just go on for a minute, because this is just me showing where, what poisons and potions. I start out with the potions that I use first, and I let that go on to, and following the potions, I have the poisons. So if you want to see what the poisons are, they'll be right after the poisons, and I do have everything listed in the description. Everything from what poison and what at what time will be listed in the description. So if you want to go straight to a poison or potion, you can do that.
Hello, my love. Back from some adventure, I bet. Yes, my love? What do you need?
Okay. Now, now I'm gonna be showing where some of the ingredients are in the game. I thought I'd add a little bit more commentary to this, because it needs it. The area that I'm showing you is just a concentration of where I found the herb. You can find this everywhere, but I found a concentration, what seemed like a concentration of it there. So, there you have it. And this is Canis root. This is used for the paralyzation poison. That's what it looks like. And you can find this in two. It grows in two general areas. It grows in between this city here and Riften, and you can find it all in that area. And so you just got to look around for it. It's kind of hard to find. As you can see, it kind of blends in with the territory. And this right here is another area that it grows into. It's a swampish area near Morthal, and it's in between Morthal and Solitude. You'll find a bunch of this. You also find swamp fungal pods and deathbells galore. To me, it's kind of like an alchemist grocery store right there. So, and this is what a swamp fungal pod looks like unpicked out here. So, anyways, but there is one thing you need to know out here. There's Spriggans out here, there's a dragon out here, and there is the Charis Reapers out here. So be careful when you come out here, especially if you're a noob, because them Charis Reapers are no joke. They will kill you, and if you don't know what one looks like, then, well, here you're about to see one, because I can't stand these little bastards. There's ass. It looks like a big ass damn centipede or some shit. Ugly ass mother. Anyways, there you go. And like I said, there's tons of deathbells here, and tons of Canis root and swamp fungal pods. You see them over there. Bear claws, if you haven't seen a bear, then you haven't really been exploring Skyrim. I didn't kill this particular bear. Actually, no, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. This bear died. I killed him. And beehives, they grow just about everywhere. You'll find them. You just gotta look for them. So there you have it. And this place, now there is a special plant that's needed for a paralyzation poison here called a briarheart, and it doesn't grow in the ground. It grows inside a forsworn briarheart. And there's certain missions where if you take them on, you actually go into a forsworn hideout, and you can pickpocket the forsworn and take his briarheart and kill him and complete the mission. You know, or there'll be a bounty on him, I guess you could say. Anyways, you'll notice that when I take the briarheart and everything, it'll actually disappear out of the chest. You can see it in his chest right now. And watch, there it is. It's gone. So, and juniper berries. The only reason I showed these is because in the beginning of the game, you know, dude mentioned juniper berry pie or some shit. Anyways, you find that in this area here. I don't really use those for any alchemy ingredients, but they do have some alchemic properties. And if you don't know what the alchemic property of a item is, just eat it, and it'll at least really show you one. There's an alchemy perk that'll show you another one. And these little crab things, you'll find them everywhere. I mean, you can find them everywhere. Nirnroot you can find everywhere as well. I tend to, I collect, you just, when you hear that sound, you know there. Now this saber cat I did not kill. That was what I did not kill. He just kind of followed me, and I happened to be walking near right one, and the guards killed him. So they have their saber-cat tooth is good for alchemy, and spriggans you can get the taproot from them. You just gotta walk around to find them. Vampires you find them at random, or in some caves and stuff. You'll have some missions, but that's the only place you're gonna get vampire dust aside from the grocery store. Let's see here, hanging moss. Now I tend to find this in this area here. That's right outside Movar. Anyways, you find a ton of hanging moss there, and I also find a kind of a concentration of nirnroot there. So that is usually where, if you need to find a lot of nirnroot, I would try checking out there. Right near, yeah, right in this area. Anyways, in this area here, you will find imp stool, which is a good paralyzation poison. It has also a damage health property, so that's where I can make that's the secret ingredient to making a paralyzation poison that does damage. And you'll know this cave because there'll be a blind dude sitting in here. You don't have to kill him, but he attacked me this time, I guess because the other people saw me, and whatever, I was just like, fuck it. Anyways, I hope he comes back alive eventually, but he'll sit there, he'll just think you're one of the crew. Anyways, but this is where you'll find the White River Watch, and you'll find a bunch of imp stool there. You can also find it in several other caves and everything like that. Now there's a road and an area here that have tons, and I mean tons, of dragon tongue, creek cluster, and jazzberry grapes, and you can just walk along this road and pick them up as you go. There is a dragon here, but I mean, you're a dragonborn, deal with it. So you'll find some flowers here, but other than that, like I said, this road, it's a road right in this area, so just look for Fort Amal and just walk down this road, and you'll find jazzberry grapes, or, well, jazzberry. Anyways, and goats too, but I don't know if they have an alchemy ingredient. But in this swamp area, like I said, there's a dragon. There's actually a dragon to the other side of this swamp area, to the other side of this road as well. When I first came over here, I almost ran into a dragon and then ran from a giant, and they ended up fighting. So I ended up getting lucky and surviving that encounter because I was a noob at the time. Now this right here is a slaughterfish. That's the only reason I'm showing this. You find them at random. They're all over the place. You can just go swimming in the water. Now I did find kind of a concentration of them, and in one area near Movar, and it's a river, and you just take this river and just keep going up and down, and eventually you will find some slaughterfish. And it goes all the way up and way down. So I mean, it's a long walk, I guess, but I mean, it's Skyrim. What do you expect? Anyways, that's what they look like, dead. Just know that when you're in the river and something starts biting you, it's a slaughterfish. And right here, I'm going to show you two different types of antlers. One is good for a poison. One is good for a stamina potion. It's an easy way to get a damage health poison by getting the certain deer antler. And so I'm gonna go a little bit of Cabela's on here, and you know, my bow of choice is the bound bow because I ain't got it carried and shit. Anyways, if you ever wonder who killed Bambi, yeah, it was me. I don't. Going for 2. Done. Anyways, the small antlers are good for a damage health poison, and if you're starting out in the game, you know you're gonna run into Whiterun, and everything, and Riverwood. So, you know, small antlers shouldn't be that hard to get. And like I said, if you just starting in the game, you already got frostbite venom, so you can kill a deer using frostbite venom, even if you don't have a fantastic bow. And like I said, you can level up alchemy using cooking, so don't be afraid to take that venison and put some salt on it or some shit. Anyways, as for the large antlers, here we go. 1 and done, my nigga. Just done. That boy hit the hell out of him. But anyways, oh yeah, if you're also new to the game and you're wondering why I can zoom in and shit, that's a archery perk. I do recommend getting that. If nothing else in archery, get that perk. So there you have it. And restore stamina. See, that's the restore stamina property. And there you go. Anyways, that's it for this guide. Hope you enjoyed my Skyrim poison and potion guide. Like I said, there'll be a description of each time and for each demonstration, ingredient and recipe on the in the description. I hope you enjoyed it.